Have you seen the movie Wall-E? I think that many people get a guilty feeling watching what happened to Earth because of human greed. Deep down, I think that we all know we can do better. What changes can we make to help the planet? Many small changes among many people over time can make a big impact. That is why today I'm asking you to do your part and reduce your meat, dairy, and fish consumption to help our planet and your health. I was diagnosed with lupus about 5 or so years back, and that is what began my personal journey on becoming vegan. I went through many different diets to try and see what best would help my symptoms and improve my quality of life. And over time, I came to realize that I got the best results from cutting all animal products out of my diet completely. Well, that may be true for me. That's not always the case for everyone. So that's why I'm not asking you to become vegan. I'm just asking you to reduce your meat consumption and increase your plant and fruit consumptions instead. So the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition has done research that shows that 88% of Amazon deforestation is due to the land being used for grazing cattle, and about 70% in Costa Rica and Panama for the same reason. The unfortunate thing is that this is happening all over the world, and it is not going to feed local populations. This is going to feed wealthier nations like the United States and Canada and the UK. Animal farming is also responsible for 70% of the fresh water consumption on the planet. This is being used to grow food for them, growing their grains, also for feeding and watering them to keep them alive. Overfishing article has shared with us that over half of the catches they take in are discarded because they're unwanted fish. Many of these fish die and do not get used or utilized at all. The overfishing that's happening in the oceans is causing a huge imbalance in the ecosystem. What's happening is we're taking out a chain of fish in the ecosystem, which is causing a huge imbalance with predators and prey. So, for example, we have a massive amount of crabs that are being taken out and lobsters of certain areas, which is causing overgrowth of certain plants and things, which is killing reefs and having many other adverse effects on the local area. There's also another form of fishing that's happening where they use cyanide to fish in the coral reefs, and these fish are being caught for not only to be sold as pets, but also to be sold as live fish for restaurants for them to choose live fish. Many of them are exotic fish. What's happening from this is it is killing our coral reefs and other fish and wildlife in the area that they aren't targeting, because obviously it's poison. The magazine Alive, it is Canada's natural health and wellness magazine, share the fact that over 665 million factory farmed animals are slaughtered each year. That's just in Canada alone. Now to move on to a bit of your own personal health, I'd like to start off with sharing my visual aid. My visual aid here is a deck of cards. I know most of you probably have heard before that your serving size of meat should be no larger than a deck of cards. Many of us are eating more than that, up to 3 times or more that size, and doing it at every meal each day. This causes issues in our body. Harvard Heart Letter discussed the CRP levels and how they are an indicator of risk of heart attack and inflammation in the body. So this was also a test that was done on me when I was diagnosed with lupus. I had CRP elevation due to all the inflammation in my body. What they found is that a vegan diet significantly reduces CRP levels, up to 32% lower in vegan people. The Vegan Diet and Chronic Disease, a brief report, shares that vegetarians have 26% to 68% lower risk of death from heart attack, and vegans have a 55% reduction overall in risk of heart attack. They also found that an excess of meat causes an excess of iron, hem iron, in your body, and that can lead to risks of many diseases and illnesses that are fairly common here today, such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, liver disease, and even certain types of cancers. Okay, so I would like for you guys to do your best at trying to cut back on your meat consumption. There are plenty of other things that we can eat out there. Even if you just do it one day a week, or try and eat meat with, maybe one meal a day and at proper proportions, you can make an impact. One of the biggest ideas that I think is easy for people to implement is a meatless Monday. That's a fairly common thing. You can go on Google and look up recipes for that. Just a simple search of a vegan meal or a meat-free meal can pull up a ton of recipes, things that are super tasty. I recommend looking up the Minimalist Baker. They're one of my favorite pages. They have awesome recipes, awesome ideas. It's not that hard, and really you're not passing up on flavor. Again, like I said, I'm not asking you not to eat meat at all. We all have many choices every day, and these choices can make an impact. Let's not be selfish like the people in the WALL-E movie. Let's make a difference. Let's try and keep Earth a livable, sustainable place for life. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish has been caught, and the last stream has been poisoned will we realize we can't eat money.